Trump just made a live shocking confession. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a different video because we are about to talk about what he just said that is absolutely shocking. And it's shocking to liberals, it's shocking to everybody. And many people that are about to watch this video know exactly where we're going when we're about to talk about what he just said in front of the world. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. What he said brings chills to my body. I just don't. I'm telling you what he said. If you are a Christian person, then you know exactly what's happening right now. And I want to play this clip, and then I want to go through what this means. Again, as you can see, this audio clip has 10.8 million views. And it is extreme. Like, I'm talking about shocking what he's saying and why he's doing what he's doing. And so we're going to play the clip, and then we'll talk about what exactly this means. This one got me, man. Let's take a listen.
Just want to end it. I want to end it. You know, we're not losing American lives. We're not losing American soldiers. We're losing Russian and Ukrainian, mostly soldiers. Some people, as missiles hit wrong spots or get lobbed into cities like Kiev and towns. But, you know, if I can save 7,000 people a week from being killed, I think that's I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I hear I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole. But if I can get to heaven, this will be one of the reasons. Well, I think I saved a lot of lives with India, Pakistan. They were going at it. The planes were being shot down. That was going to be maybe a nuclear war if I let that go. And I did that through trade. Just want to end it.
Yeah, so he says he just wants to end it. He wants to end the wars. He wants to end the killings. He wants to end deaths. He wants to end all these things. And he says that he wants to make it to heaven. Jokingly, he says he hears that he's not doing too good. He's like at the bottom of the totem pole. And many liberals are trying to laugh this off. Many of them making videos like, oh, you're going directly to hell, right? You're not going to make it to heaven, buddy. A lot of people are against President Trump saying this, making fun of him, saying that at least he's aware that he's not going to make it, which I think is pretty crazy. Because hearing him say this, to me, it's not shocking. When you read the Bible and when you're somebody that believes in Jesus Christ the way I do, I know a lot of people don't believe. A lot of people aren't Christian. A lot of people aren't religious. But Jesus, God has his way of working with people. And usually like Paul and Matthew, right? Matthew was hated by his own people. Matthew literally was, to the Jews, a traitor for working with the Romans. When you look at Paul, he persecuted Christians and then became a Christian and wrote the Bible. A lot of the Bible, right? So you guys get where I'm going with this, right? So the people that are used are usually not the perfect ones, are usually the people that you would say that are not the best people in the world. Now, that's not to say that Trump is the worst person in the world, but man, I just got to read this to you. A lot of people are trying to roast. Says, I know you're trying to roast President Trump for saying this, but no one's self-awareness of their falling state is the mark of their genuine and repentant soul. It sounds like Trump is he's repenting. He's trying to get there, even though he knows he's not perfect. And the ability to admit this in public, despite one's own ego, is even more noteworthy. Like, a lot of people are making this a noteworthy thing. Even people that aren't supporters of President Trump, like, why would he say this? Is shocking. This is crazy. The fact that he even say that. And then Patrick J. Wolf says, this is the first time I've heard a U.S. leader talk about seeking heaven and the state of their soul. Like, this is a deep thing. And I ran into this video, and I'll tell you, I got the chills, man. I was just like, man, like, I'm not one of those. I don't worship Trump. You guys know that. There was things that happened with the Epstein files. There's just things that happened that I just don't agree with. And I know there's a lot of people that look at Trump as this, that, and the third. But I got to say, man, like, when I make a video like this, it's just to show you the connection between how Jesus uses people, right? How Jesus uses those who are the unlikely heroes, the unlikely folks. And people always have this thing. Like, again, Trump is not perfect by one's or any means, but the U.S. sitting president speaking that he wants to get to heaven. And one of the ways that he feels that he could get to heaven is by stopping the killing and stopping wars. That to me is so shocking, bro. This shows that Trump has good intentions, but he lacks the one belief that should be above all. Jesus says, I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. No one comes to the Father but through me. John 14:16. Trust in Jesus and make the way not of your own efforts. So a lot of people are relating this to, to salvation, like Trump seeking salvation. What is Trump? What is happening with Trump? Is it possible that, again, a lot of people that are just shocked by hearing it, and even the reporters during this segment there on Fox News, as he's trying to get to the bottom of ending this war in Russia, between Ukraine and Russia, between Vladimir Zelensky and Vladimir Putin. And so I ran into this because there's something else that he's done in Washington, D.C. For the first time. I think it was like for the first time in a long time, there was like no murders in a span of like 2 weeks since this has happened, since he deployed and had a federal takeover of D.C. And now the Pentagon is planning to send thousands of National Guard troops into Chicago to help restore order and enact President Trump's crackdown on crime. Plans currently being finalized for possible active duty force deployment. This is coming from the Washington Post. And again, like a lot of people, a lot of libertarians, and many different, even conservatives, are saying that this is too much in the use of power, that he's doing way too much. But I will say that the result of this is actually shocking. It's shocking. I know there's a lot of shock in this video, but there's a shocking the fact that this is what it's the result is, that young men and women are not dying right now. And by doing this, more young men and women are not going to die. And then you got like liberals protesting this in the means. But again, it's just the Pentagon is officially planning a military deployment into Chicago to enact President Trump's crackdown on crime. Active duty forces are now being considered. Military officials at PHEX's DOD are planning for thousands of soldiers to head to Chicago and are now sketching out plans. So let me ask you guys this question, right? Because I think, again, this is an important video, and I think it's extremely important that we talk about this, because it's a lot of people feel like it's a conflict of interest. Like Trump is expanding government by having the government take over police forces, right? By overseeing the police of the cities, including the entire state, but just that city, the military would then have say over whatever the police department of that current city has to. But if that is the way to stop young men and women, especially young black men, young white men, young Hispanic males, from legitimately hurting each other, unaliving each other, or people unaliving each other, wouldn't that be a good risk to take? That's my question to liberals that may be watching this. Do you feel, oh, this is too much? Or even libertarians, this is way too much. This is a crazy and nasty course of action, because there's a lot of people freaking out about this. There's a lot of people saying, you're going to send the military into Chicago? How dare you? You're going after black people. But then there's videos, and I mean hundreds of thousands of videos of black people saying this is exactly what we needed to stop black on black crimes. This is exactly what we needed for us to stop unaliving each other. That's what we're hearing. That's part of the narrative. There's many more narratives, some that don't support that. Is this worth the risk? Here we go. We're going to take a look at what's happening here in Chicago. The military is already arriving there.
The military is here, Shawty. The military is here. They on the street. The military is here. The military really here, Shawty. Y'all thought life was a joke. Y'all think everything.
Yeah, so this video is going like extremely viral right now, right? About Chicago, about what's about to happen in Chicago, where, again, we talked about DC being the murder capital, also being the capital. We talked about New York City. We talked about all these cities that have crazy crime, where, again, it's usually just young people over the age of 18 or maybe under the age of 18 with committing acts of violence, committing crimes. And this is truly one way to stop it. Many different people think it's not. I think that if the results are that no lives are going to be lost, and this is what we got to do to, for the time being, I'm not going to lie to you, that sounds better than not doing it and more lives being lost. Let me know what you guys think about what Trump said. Can't lie, I got the chills when I was reading that. I was reading the comments. was reading what everybody was saying, and I just thought, man, like I've never heard something like this from a president before. This actually sounds like this sounds wild, man, to hear a person really make that type of just a president, the United States of America's president. Trump comes out and says that. Liberals laugh. Christians say, whoa, that's actually brave and actually something that Christians, even if they don't support Trump, can get behind. A man who wants to get to heaven, who wants to do that, who wants to get to that place. If you're a Christian, you know how important that sentence actually is. So again, let me know what you guys think about that, about the deployment into Chicago, knowing after, they were deployed into, of course, DC. And let me know if you support this, ladies and gentlemen. See you guys on the next one.